You mentioned Brian Branch. Have we mentioned Jack Campbell? I think that's
a
dude.
Bit, yeah.
I think that's a dude that needs a little love as well.
Oh,
huh?
for sure. They both played great. Obviously, Brian Branch made that play on Cole Beasley when Cole Beasley was doing that out route in the flat, and he just didn't give him a step. Came through top speed, put him in the ground. Jack Campbell is making great plays in the run game, a lot of solo tackles. Those are two guys who you could see starting as rookies on this defense.
I need to see that. I think I told you guys the last time I was here, and I'm going to say it again. I wish I could lie to you and say that everything is magical and I can put my worries away. I don't know about you guys. I'll just speak for me. My concern over the Lions' run defense is real, and the only thing that can fix it, you can talk to me until you're Honolulu blue in the face. The only thing that's going to fix that for me is to see it. Like, seriously, I'm just telling you right now. I know I'll probably get, you're dumb, look what he did in the offseason, all of that stuff. Fine, that's great. But that memory to me is too fresh in my memory banks. A few times last year, in particular that Carolina game on Christmas Eve afternoon, that's too fresh in my mind. I hope that what you said, Spenny, is part of the resolution of that. But honestly, for me, Lindsay, that run defense, I'm not just going to say, I believe it's fixed. That's going to be a show me type of situation.
Right. And that's rightfully so. You have to, regardless of the moves you make in the offseason, it has to show on the field. And we all are, speculating right now, saying, oh, it's better. But like you said, we have to see it. Where is the proof? I think it'll be better just because I don't think they'll ever – I think that was just I don't know what that was. That was just a fluke giving up that many yards.
I hope so.
I think that was a fluke. Now, they were bad, but that was a fluke. It didn't happen again after that. They got,
it didn't
got better. The last 8 or 9 games, they were much better. But, yeah, I think they'll be better, man. I want the Lions fans to jump on the Super Bowl train. I think they should be rooting to get to the Super Bowl, but I don't think they're, nobody has enough kahunas to do it.
I don't know. We saw this over the weekend. Some Lions fans are thinking Super Bowl already.
There you go. Who's that guy?
That is Reddit user Alex Genfar.
Let's go, Alex. He's a believer.
That's something. You notice how the 2024 isn't bolded? So that part, in case it doesn't have, you can change that.
Listen, I'm not going to go off on the guy or anybody that's thinking that. I'm serious. I'm not. Because you know what, Lindsay, the 2004 Detroit Pistons are an example. I think in our mind, we think that it's a series of steps, right? Because that's how, like I always go back to the Pistons before you were here. First it was we can't beat Neek. Then we can't beat Bird.
Right.
Then we can't beat the Lakers. Then they won 2 championships. I think everybody thought in 2004, even after they brought Sheed in, I think people thought, well, we'll take the next step this year, but I don't know, that Laker team, they have mercenaries, and they brought in the glove, and they brought in Malone, and maybe next year will be our year. It doesn't have to follow the sequential order, man. It doesn't. I'm sorry. So, is saying the Lions are going Super Bowl bound? Am I willing to say that yet? No offense to you, Lindsay. I'm not. I'm not willing to say that yet. But is it? Are we nuts for saying it? I think in years gone by, I would have told you were. Right now, nah, I'm not going to tell you are. I'm not. I'm not going to tell you are right now.
Well, see, Sean, you guys you've been here through the worst of the worst. You've seen.
They've tortured me.
You've seen every situation that has happened to the Lions, good, bad, or indifferent. So I get it. But this is my thing. Like, what is it going to hurt to root for your team to be in the Super Bowl? Like, it's never happened. So what do you have to lose? Look at the Dallas Cowboys. Those jerks think every year they're going to the Super Bowl. I have to put up with them every single year. Oh, this is our year. It's never their year. They say it every single time.
A good bit. It really
I
is a good
hate
bit.
them with a passion. Yeah. And I love the fact when we beat the hell out of them, I get on social media and I gloat like crazy. But they do it every year. Lions, join in. At least you guys, I legitimately think the Lions have a legitimate shot to contend for the Super Bowl. Just watch it.
Listen, you know what you brought up as well. That's another example. I think 2 ways of a team that skipped a step and the torture that the Lions have really put onto my soul. People forget, the Lions killed the Dallas Cowboys twice in the 91 season. In October, in late October, I was at that game, and in the playoff game. I mean, 38-6, right?
Right.
Okay, fast forward a year later, and you have Pat Summerall saying, I think we're looking at the two teams from the 90s, right? Fast forward a year later, the Dallas Cowboys are absolutely untouchable.
Yes.
Smoke everybody in the playoffs, come back into Detroit, smoke the Lions a year later, and go win 3 of the next 4 Super Bowls.
Yes.
So talk about a team, to your point. Okay, the next step is to maybe win a playoff game. Well, screw the next step.
Exactly.
Who says anything? There has to be a step, right? If these teams ready to compete, they're going to go out there and compete.
Exactly, and that's how I look at it. I don't care about, we're trying to take the next step.
Yeah.
If your team is good enough, and of course things have to happen in order for you to get there, but if your team is good enough, screw the next steps. We're going for it all.
Yeah.
I mean, and I can always, think back to when we were competing for it and nobody really gave us a chance. Like, nobody thought we were going to win the championship, but us. They were the only people.
It's a true story.
Yeah,
it is. It's a true story.
We're the only idiots that had enough confidence to think that we could win it all, like regardless to who we were playing. But everybody else was like, I don't know. I mean, even my own family members was like, hey, man, y'all got to play the Lakers.
Yeah.
Like, fuck the Lakers. We're better than the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? But everybody was thinking like, oh, we got to, the next step in here. No. If you're good enough to compete, all you have to do is believe and lay it on the line and see what happens. Show me you're better than me.
Listen, Lindsay, I'm going to get your back here. I firmly believe that people in mass didn't start to think that this team was going to win the NBA title until Game 3 when the series came back here. And do you know when no offense, don't hit me for this. Do you know the first time that it hit me? When, believe it or not, when they won Game 2, when the Lakers won Game 2,
barely,
because it was a miracle shot from Kobe at the end, and like I remember thinking to myself, if that's the Lakers' best shot, and they had to use a miracle shot, and it was, if you remember,
like it was yesterday,
like they're fucked.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I remember plain as day going, okay, if that's the Lakers' counterpunch after getting the butts whooped in Game 1, and that's all they got, Pistons might win this series.
That's how I knew the Lakers were going to get swept by the Nuggets this year. Everybody called me crazy. After that first game when Anthony Davis dropped 45 or whatever and they lost, I was like, okay, that's not going to happen. You got to win that game. You got to win that game. You can't win with him going off like that. You're not going to win.
Dude, when watching those games, I told my son, I was like, the Lakers won't get a game.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, no, Dad, they're going to win one. I said, dude, people don't understand how good Denver really is. Like, they're deep, and they got that monster down low who can do everything.
I made a lot of money off that series.
Yeah, but my thing has always been, man, if you're good enough, just, make them prove to you that they can beat you. And I think, as well as the Lions, I think the team is going to have that mentality just from listening to how their approach is and listening to the coaches and everybody that's surrounding. They're going to have that approach. I think they're going to have the approach that, hey, prove to us that you can beat us. Prove to us that you're better. And that's the only thing that you ask for. And I think, if everybody gets behind them enough, hey, who knows? You
know what the graduation is, too? I was having this conversation with somebody, I won't say who, at camp, and we were talking about the Thanksgiving Day game last year. And it was great. It was, you had to make the Bills, who are obviously one of the best teams out there, go beat you. To me, you know what the graduation is? When we're not looking at, golly gee, we were so close. Heck of a game. That was, that to me, that's the graduation. And I'm going to use Kansas City as an example, okay? Well, you can't expect to go in there and win. Why not?
Yeah, you can.
Right.
Why not? Wait a second. Why not? If we're what we think we are, okay? And I think we're all on the same page. I don't hear many people saying, oh, they're doing it to you again. They're going to be 7-10. They're going to be 6-11. We're all on the same page, right? We think they're pretty good. Okay, well then why are we just handing Game 1 to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs? Why?
Because of flannel.
I mean,
Flannel, is that true? Is it your fault?
It's not my fault. I just think that the Lions can have every single thing that they want this year, but still take the L in Week 1 at Kansas City, because everybody loses to Kansas City. It's the rite of passage for a young up and coming team. It happens to the best of us. I don't want people to put all their eggs into that basket. I think most people aren't, but sometimes I even get that impression from Neil Rule, because whether you win or lose, there are still 16 more games to play.
I'll tell you what, Flannel, all my eggs are in every basket this year. I'm going into every game thinking they can win. Now, are they going to win every game? More than likely, no. Right. But I'm not looking at a team this year and being like, all right, they don't have a chance.
So my question, have you ever felt like that before?
Never.
See, that's my
Never.
point.
No, I'm serious. Never. Even 92, for the older dudes out there, even 92, you were almost waiting for the other shoe to drop, and Jim Harbaugh dropped it right on our noggins in game 1. Flannel, I get your point, though. I'm going to get your back there, okay?
Appreciate it.
It's not the end of the season if they do lose the Chiefs.
Right.
It's not. I'm not going to sit back like I did in 92 and go, oh, no, here we go again. I'm not going to. But I'm not going into that game just going, well, they're going to start 0-1.
Exactly.
Why?
No.
Why are they going to start 0-1?